Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear students and viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope by the grace of Almighty Allah, you would be in a good mood and in a fine health. Dear students, as usual, my topic is today selection process in the organization and training. First of all, let me explain what is the selection process. The selection is a process of picking the right candidate with prerequisite qualifications and capabilities to fill the jobs in the organization. The selection process is quite lengthy and complex as it involves a series of steps before making the final selection. Different scholars have given different views regarding the selection of process. According to David and Robbins, selection is a managerial decision so as to predict which job application will be successful if hired. Every organization creates a selection process because they have their own requirements in the organization, and although the main steps remain the same. So let us understand in brief how the selection process works in the organization. This diagram depicts the selection process in the organization. Number 1 is preliminary interview. Number 2, receiving application. Number 3, screening application. Number 4, employment test. Number next, interview. Number next, reference checking. Then followed by medical examination. Then final selection. First of all, the process begins with preliminary interview. As you are well aware about this term interview, this is very general and basic interview conducted so as to eliminate the candidates who are completely unfit to work in the organization. This process leaves the organization with a pool of potentially fit employees to fill their vacancies. So this is the first process in the selection process in the organization. Now the second process is receiving application. After preliminary interview, potential employees apply for a job by screening applications to the organization. The application gives the interviewers information about candidates like their biodata, work experience, hobbies, and other interests. This is the second process, that is receiving application. Third process is screening applications. After applications are received by the candidates, then they are scrutinized or screened. Once the application are received, they are screened by a special screening committee set up by the organization who choose candidates from the applications to call for an interview. Applicants may be selected on special criteria like qualification, work experience in the field, etc. Then the fourth process in the selection process in organization is employment test, your ET. Employment test. Before an organization decides a suitable job for any individual, they have to gauge their talents and skills. This is done through various employment tests like intelligence test, aptitude test, proficiency test, personality test, etc. Then it is followed by interview. Employment interview, rather we should say. Interviews are done to identify a candidate's skills set and ability to work in an organization in detail. Purpose of an interview is to find out the suitability of the candidate and to give him an idea about the work profile and what is expected of the potential employee. An interview is critical for the right people for the right job. Then after interview, it is followed by that is called reference checking. Once the interview is completed, then the person who gives the reference of a potential employee is also a very important source of information. The referee can provide information about the person's capabilities, experience in the previous these companies, and leadership qualities and managerial skills. The information provided by the referee is meant to be kept confidential with the human resources department in the organization. Then we have another process, that is reference checking. No, sorry, we have medical examination. After this reference checking, the medical examination is also a very important step in the selection process. Medical examinations help employers know if any of the potential candidates are physically and mentally fit to perform their duties in their jobs. A good system of medical examination ensures that the employee standards of health are higher than, and there are fewer cases of absenteeism, accidents, and employees as this turnover at stop. Then we have a final selection process, that is final selection of the candidate. This is the final step in the selection process. After the candidate has successfully passed all over these tests or processes, written test, interviews, medical examination, the employee is sent or emailed an appointment letter conferring his selection to the job. The appointment letter contains all the details of the job like working hours, salary, leave allowances, etc. Often employees are hired on a condition basis where they are hired potentially after the employees are satisfied with their references. So these were the 8 selection processes or methods which are done in the selection process in an organization. They played a vital role in the organization. And in employment test, if the candidate fails, his application and his proposal is to be rejected. And if interview he does not suit well and he does not interview well, then he is found unsuitable. This diagram or this figure shows the process of these selection process in an organization. I will repeat it again for your memory. Number 1, preliminary interview. Number 2, receiving application, then followed by screening applications, then followed by employment test, then interview and reference checking, medical examination, and finally selection. So this was my today's lecture. I hope you would have enjoyed well, and till the next session, till the next lecture, Khuda Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.